How y'all doing tonight, man? You know, one thing about life, if you arrogant, and listen, listen, I'm all for being arrogant. I'm all for it. Please, listen, I'm all for it. But do I recommend it? Absolutely not. I mean, if you're successful in your respective field, whatever you do and you're extremely successful in it and you want to boast, pump your chest out and just really like basically flex on people, even if you're not actually flexing on people, that's how most people gonna take it. That's why arrogant people are put most of the time persona non grata, especially when they on the way down. What's gonna happen is when you arrogant like that, on your way down, people gonna give you their ass to kiss, bro. And you know, what I'm watching with Shedeur Sanders, man, is just complete unrighteous. That's what I'm gonna say it is. And I'm gonna stand on it. It's unrighteous what's happening to Shedeur Sanders. Now I'm gonna play y'all a few videos um, to go into why I say that. But before I get into that, see, Shedeur, this was bigger than Shedeur. It was because of his daddy. You hear people saying stuff like it was because of his daddy, and that's wrong. It's because of his race. Nope, that's not it. Because guess what? See Travis Hunter, his teammate. He was a great player, but he was boring and he was humble. He was black. Same thing with the number one overall pick, Cam Ward. We've seen white guys like this. We've seen Johnny Manziel. Whether you want to admit it or not, Johnny Manziel is one of the best quarterbacks at the college age level that we've ever seen in the SEC. Beat Alabama twice at their height with Nick Saban. He wasn't no anybody. He was a great quarterback, and he could have been great in the league. He would have had an offensive line, and he would have been more focused. But it wasn't that. We know why he didn't get a lot of more chances because his attitude, his arrogance. So it's not really race. It's not. People don't like arrogance on anyone. So for the people who say, "Oh, it's because he black," no, we seen this happen with Johnny Manziel, right? And it ain't because his daddy, because his daddy is an NFL legend. Everybody loves his father. His father did everything his father ever did. He overachieved. You know what I'm saying? Won Super Bowl after Super Bowl in the NFL, and even though he haven't won a college championship yet, you know he took Colorado from a nobody to a number one place where people want to go. Not to mention he groomed himself a great quarterback in his son Shedeur, and he also groomed a Heisman Trophy winner. So his college age career hasn't been a failure. He hasn't reached a national championship, but they have great coaches that don't reach national championship. They get almost there, but everybody don't cross that bridge. And they got people who was lucky enough to cross it once, right? So everything that Dion has ever did, he overachieved. Everybody loved Dion. But this is not about that. The reason why they doing this to Shedeur, because as I mentioned, Shedeur can be a real problem. And Shedeur was so sheltered in college and throughout his life because his father coached him, number one, so nobody could really touch him and humble him, right? He played well. He was a great quarterback. He although he didn't win the Heisman Trophy or a national championship, he still was number one in NIL. He was very popular. He's the popularest player probably on the Cleveland Browns right now, and he's barely going even got a spot, and he's probably the popularest player on the team. He's damn sure leading in jersey sales. Got guys on the team wearing his father's shoes. I mean, the dude is larger than life. And in college, nobody, like I say, nothing was able to humble him. And these NFL owners, they'll take one for the team. In other words, you're not gonna get me to believe that it wasn't a conclusion to get together and say, look, we're not drafting him. Nothing personal, but this attitude that he has, we have to kill it. Because we can't kill it in college at this point. College football, I hate to say what I'm about to say, But college football is almost to the point where it's getting ruined. The NIL kind of ruined college football. Do I support NIL? Absolutely. You got a lot of these guys in college. They come from situations where, excuse me, single parent household. They doing bad in poverty, and the school's making all kind of money because of them. Especially if they are a great player, I do think they should be compensated. And for the people who say, well, they need to just play good and wait till they get in the NFL to be compensated because it's ruined college football. Well, we've seen several players. We've seen players win the Heisman Trophy winner. We've seen Heisman Trophy winners not be successful in the NFL. So they make all this money for this college, and now they don't even make it in the NFL. So they just, um, I do support it, but it's kind of like an oxymoron because I support it, but I also understand that it's ruining college football. This is why Nick Saban left. You know what I'm saying? Because you really can't even fairly compete no more. You could have a great organization, a great program, but if you don't have somebody outbid you in NIL money, you'll lose that player. Or that player will leave you in the transfer portal. So it's just a tricky thing. But, so somebody like Shedeur can be a real problem. Because if you'd have let him go to the NFL, be that cocky in the league, be that cocky in college, then go to the league and still be that cocky, you could have created, what that would have did was burnt a lot of Shedeurs. Because like I say, NIL already ruining college. So, okay, we can't do nothing with that. But we can control this league. This league is basically a fraternity. All the owners gonna always own these teams. They're not gonna sell them. They're gonna pass them down. So it's almost like a fraternity. So for the greater good, we'll take a L. We'll take one for the team, and we not drafting him, even though this man was a first-round talent quarterback. And if you want to argue with that, let's go second round at best. Absolutely no way he should have went no fifth round. Absolutely no reason Dylan Gabriel or Tyler Shuck and all of these other quarterbacks should have been drafted over him. Absolutely not. But in the fifth round, as I believe, as I'm going to speak about in one of the videos I'm going to play, I guess they say in the fifth round, we'll get him. He's humbled. We don't have to keep him. We can get a lot of publicity because he's probably one of the populous college players outside of Travis Hunter. Two popular players, man, that come from Colorado, right? And so, Dion made Colorado a household name. And they, they understood the problem that can be if they would have let Shedeur slide straight in that first round, because again, he was arrogant in college and he couldn't be touched. Nobody could touch him. He was number one in NIL, up and coming school he was at with his father, which was an NFL legend. But when he get to this pro level, we gonna humble him. But what I'm seeing now is they taking the humbling over because I guess they seeing that he's not being humble. So what's happening now is they went to the next level of humbleness, which is sabotage. And that's what I can't respect about it. So what I'm going to do is I want to play this 2-minute clip of his, and I'm going to break it down, of his preseason finale.
And Sanders to throw. Flushed out of the pocket, looking.
Now, as you can see, I'm going to take the volume off so I can commentate it. As you can see, first of all, he's playing with the last string, the fifth string player. A lot of these players are going to be PE teachers. They probably not going to play. As you can see, look at his line, all his line, which is on the middle left hand of the screen. The people who's supposed to block for him, look how they just getting ran straight through like wet toilet paper. And I would go a point of saying that maybe Kevin Stefanski or somebody, because again, most of these dudes are fifth and sixth string players. They not gonna have enough room for them on the team or the practice squad. Some of them gonna be PE teachers and coordinators, or maybe they might have high school coaching jobs. And guess what? These dudes will do anything for a few extra dollars. You never know. They might have set them dudes down and said, hey, let them through. Because what they want to do is they want to paint the picture that this is why, because they building it up, which is going to be a blessing in disguise for him. Because why would you want to stick around? Let somebody come get you like the Saints, because they need a quarterback. And you never know what can happen throughout the season. But with Atlanta and stuff like that, we don't know if Michael Penix is going to work. Hopefully he do. We don't know if Tua going to be healthy all season. And I'm just throwing some names out there, but this man is a starting quarterback in this league. And he showed us that in preseason week 1 with some backups. If he can do that with them, imagine what he can do with an O-line, the first string, first string receiver, first string O-line, first string tight end. But it's like they just let them through. You never know. They probably told him, just let them through. And that's going to get him validation when they cut Shedeur, because a lot of people are going to be upset with that, right? And a lot of people are already upset that he got named the number 3 quarterback on the depth chart. So this was validation. That's why I think Kevin Stefanski, with his unrighteous self, purposely set Shedeur up in this game to fail so he can be validated for cutting Shedeur and putting him at number 3 at the depth chart when we all know he shouldn't be number 3. As a matter of fact, I would go as far as saying he should be number 1. I mean, I understand Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is a first ballot Hall of Famer in my book. I love Joe Flacco. But Joe Flacco is 41 years old. Y'all went got the guy off his couch to come back in the league and play. What do we expect from him? Right? I would maybe let him start up the first couple of games and then give the key to Shedeur. But he would definitely not be third string in the third in the depth chart. But like I say, this is a humbling. This is a what you call that I'm trying to find the words. What they call it? Humiliation ritual. They sent in Shedeur Sanders through a humiliation ritual. And I just don't like to see it, man. And I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those guys to do the whole woke stuff. And I'm not woke. I'm anti-woke. If you've been on my channel long enough and you know me personally, or you go ahead and look at any of my content on any social media platform, I'm anti-woke. And it's not, like I say, it's not about race. But, anti-woke is just the victim mind. It's always something. But with this, he's definitely being sabotaged. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
The Browns, it appears they fall on it. Yep, to Michael Penix. Sanders, being pressured, spins away again and keeping the play alive. The fans love it, but that's one of those plays where maybe he's got to roll out and throw it away, huh? Well, the fans that have stuck around want to see 12 do something special on 1st and 10. Pressure, Sanders retreats, now steps up. He's going to get dropped inside the 40. Did he lose it? No whistle. Now there's a whistle finally, even though Tony Fields, the former Brown, thought he had a...
He's kind of doing it to himself a little bit here as he's drifting way too much deep in the pocket. He's got to step up or they're going to just continue to rush up the field. There's that spot. Sorry, go ahead.
Connection with Sal Cannella gets it back to the original line of scrimmage. Sanders steps up. Now he retreats, spins around, throws, keeps the play. It's behind Williams and incomplete.
But I'm just showing you something. Let's go back real quick. Look at this guy. Mind you, this is a rookie that didn't really play at one of the. He wasn't in the SEC, for lack of word, when you're talking about college age. And look at the playmaking Look at the playmaking potential with a bunch of guys who are 4th and 5th string. I want to show y'all this play again. How he kept this play alive.
A little bit here as he's drifting way too much deep in the pocket. He's got to step up or they're going to just continue to rush up the field. There's that spot.
Not this play, the next play.
Sorry, go ahead.
Connection with Sal Cannella gets it back to the original line of scrimmage.
I want you to watch the play potential in this. How the pocket breaks down, he scrambles, get loose, and still almost connects, but he just overthrows the receiver or the tight end by a little bit. But if that was a good receiver, a first-string receiver would have caught this ball. Watch this play.
Sanders steps up. Now he retreats, spins around, throws, keeps the play alive. It's behind Williams and incomplete.
I think that was the running back, but that ball hit his hand. If it hit your hand, you're supposed to catch it. He threw it right to him. Perfect spiral. But I'm just showing you the playmaking capability. But this next video I'm about to play is by Skip Bayless. Now, you know me personally. I do not like Skip Bayless. I have a deep repugnance against him. He never knows what he's talking about. I wouldn't even call him a broke clock, because a broke clock two times a day. This dude might be right one time a year, and I can't really think of the last time he was right. And I've been following him for, over 10 years, easy. Over 15 years probably. But this guy never knows what he's talking about. He's a hater. But what he's about to say about Shedeur Sanders, I want y'all to listen, and of course I'm gonna chime in. But it's very powerful what he's saying. He's 1,000% spot on, and I'm gonna chime in as he said.
And he could have gone running for a while.
8,000. That's how many men have found freedom from the P word through Unchained Leader. My name is Tommy Say. Today I'm one of the...
I'm about to unleash about Shedeur Sanders. Brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. I just watched what happened to Shedeur Sanders in the Cleveland Browns' third and final preseason game. And I'm outraged, I'm sickened, and I'm saddened. By the way, Shedeur continues to be treated in the National Football League now by those sorry-ass Browns and sorry-ass Kevin Stefanski. So, yeah, Flacco started today, and I'll give you this, he played well. He was 9 out of 10 for 71 yards, threw a couple of nice balls. Dylan Gabriel played the second quarter and played well. He always plays well. I know him inside and out. I watched every snap he took for 2 years at the University of Oklahoma. Watched a lot of him at Oregon. He's a good little battler. He will, as he says, compete. He's a little better than Tua is, and he's sort of a carbon copy of Tua, also from Hawaii. But he's a little undersized. His arm's fine. But he went 12 of 19, had a couple of misfires, but 12 of 19 for 129. Threw some nice balls. Touchdown pass, wide open to Drake Stoops, another Oklahoma guy. Way to go, Drake. Hope you make the squad. Don't know that you will. Shedeur got the third quarter and then a good chunk of the fourth quarter.
Dylan Gabriel, man, the guy who they put above Shedeur Sanders on the quarterback depth chart, is I'm trying to see what I can say about this guy. You know, he did play at big colleges. He was decent, but I would call him, he the type of guy to go 40 for 40 for 40 yards and 1 touchdown. He's a dink and dunk. He's a point guard quarterback. He gives what you take him, and you can give. He's not a big play, electrifying, make a play type of guy. In my opinion, I don't want to put this on him like I'm trying to be word cursing or nothing, but he's a backup. You know what I'm saying? At best, his whole career. But he's not a Shedeur. There's absolutely no way he should be ahead of Shedeur on the depth chart. Absolutely no way. But let's continue.
And it was a disaster, except for the very first play. Shedeur escaped right, threw a really nice ball up the boundary to somebody named Sal Cannella. I don't know Sal Cannella. I had to look him up. Played, this is fourth NFL team, bounced around minor league football. Undrafted free agent back in whatever it was, 2020, and unsigned as an undrafted free agent. Nobody signed him. He's not even listed on the Cleveland Browns depth chart at tight end. There are 4 listed right now on the ESPN.com depth chart, and he's not even listed. So he's at best the 5th tight end on this squad. Will he make the practice? I have no idea. I doubt he'll make the squad. But that's what Shedeur was stuck with. Shedeur obviously held the ball too long, but he's trying to make a play because he's trying to make a splash. He made a big splash in that first preseason game when everybody was hurt and they had no choice but to play him, and he lit them up. He shamed them and the NFL in the first preseason game with that performance. It was spectacular and completely unsurprising to me because I'm going to say it again one more time. I said before last college football season started that Shedeur should go first overall or Travis Hunter 1-2-2-1, whether the team drafting first needed a quarterback. But Shedeur should have been the first quarterback drafted. And then my man Mel Kiper, who's been doing this a long time, as long as I've been doing it, doubled down and said Shedeur should go first of all the quarterbacks. That was his final mock drafting, his final big board. Shedeur Sanders was the best quarterback in the draft, said Mel Kiper Jr., who's been doing this for a long freaking time. Had him in time. Had him rated and ranked above Cam Ward, did Mel Kiper, and then Mel threw a fit on air that night that Shedeur fell through the first round of the draft, and then continued to fall, fell all the way, obviously, to 144th in the draft, 5th round pick. I know a lot of people think this is just some woke opinion. It's not a woke opinion. I know woke. I'm just telling you, this young man can play quarterback at the highest level in this league. He is capable of being a franchise quarterback and taking a team to the promised land. I watched him at Jackson State. I watched him for 2 years at Colorado. He didn't have much of an offensive line. He still doesn't have much of an offensive line when he gets in the game, especially today. But he's got the whole package. He's got enough size. He's not huge, but his arm is Brady-esque. It's at least as strong as Brady's. He can run, as we saw in the first preseason game. He can move. But the main things he has are poise and command and leadership intangibles that he got from his father. I think the greatest athlete who ever played any sport, Deion Sanders. He got some of Deion's personality, his charisma, his captivation. And what he got that Deion didn't have was an arm. He doesn't have Deion's speed, but he got an arm that his father never had in baseball. His father was really a good baseball player, but not much of a put-out guy from center field. He could just run balls down. Shedeur is deadly accurate, led the nation in percentage, in completion percentage. Shedeur is as tough mentally and physically as any college quarterback I have ever seen. I got it. He's got the exotic cars, and he's got the attitude. He's got the swag. He's got the... I got it. He got that from his dad. But he backed it up game after game, throw after throw. You want to talk about clutch toughness? It's Shedeur, and he gets stuck in Cleveland because he said some things in the pre-draft process. He said some things to teams at the combine that were straight, chip off block sort of things that he shouldn't have said. Came across as incredibly arrogant. And the word of mouth, it's not like there's a memo sent out, but the word of mouth all around this league was, let's teach him, and especially his daddy, a lesson. Let's just put them in their place. It was just sickening and shameful to watch. Let's teach them who we are and who they're not. And all those coaches who didn't want to take him were scared to death that if you did take him, that pretty soon the owner is going to be thinking, well, I could get Deion Sanders to coach. I'm going there because it's going to create box office, and maybe he's a better coach than you are, coach. He is. Scared to death of him, even though the irony of this is that, trust me on this, Shedeur and Deion are going their separate ways. It was time. It's time to cut the cord. Shedeur had never been coached by anybody all the way up from Little League football up except Deion. And they both knew it's just time to move forward and show the world that he's his own man as a young man, as Deion has always proven he's his own man. Not that there isn't love there, but it was just time to go forth, go forward, prove who you are and prove separately who you are. It was perfectly on time. So it had nothing to do with Dion being the coach of Shedeur, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to be Shedeur's coach. And I'm in fact very sure that Shedeur does not want Dion to coach him henceforth. So it's like he got sabotaged today. That's how it's.
And that's what the next thing I wanted to say, and I forgot to say that that y'all watched the hit every play from his last game, which was earlier today. You know, not only did they put him in the game, right? They put him in the game in the third quarter with all of the future P teachers, fifth and sixth string players. Some of them not even gonna make the practice squad. I don't know what was going on with the Rams. They probably still had some twos in there, or threes maybe. And after they allowed him to get executed because no offensive line wasn't blocking, nobody wasn't catching ball. Just like I say, I wouldn't be surprised if it was some kind of inclusion where they paid these players to make Shedeur look bad on his own team, right? But not to add insult to injury, with 2 minutes left, instead of giving him a chance to redeem himself, this is his final show. This is his final show to the world, what he can really do. In 2 minute situations, his team needed a score. Get them in field goal range. Give him a chance to do that. This coach takes this man out the game and puts a fourth-string quarterback in, which we know for a fact is probably his last game in the Brown jersey today. I don't know if he's going to be in the league, but they know for sure it's not going to be him, or he know for sure he's not going to be on the roster. And you're going to put this dude in? Like, this was this is what quarterbacks are made. This is what quarterbacks love. This is the best time to show a quarterback true talent. What can he do in that 2 minute drive, that 30-second drive, if we need him? And this was Shedeur Chan and Kevin Stefanski, the Brown head coach, deliberately took their man out and put a player in who's not even going to be there tomorrow. I'm talking about just completely sabotage him. But I'm going to let Skip continue. He cooking.
Struck me that they threw him in because they didn't want him to make any more splash and put any more heat on Stefanski. And he's coming off an oblique pull, and I don't know if it affected him today, but it's a desperate, dangerous situation in which he's got no shot, man. He's throwing to Sal freaking Cannella? What? And that was the one ball he did come. He was 3 out of 6, but he got sacked 5 times because he's hanging on the ball, trying to make a play, and nobody can separate. Looked like the Rams were playing some second teamers. That Engel kid is just a guided missile, and it looked like they had more talent on the field than certainly Cleveland had in the offensive line and in the receiver core that was on the field with Shedeur. And he's waiting, and he's looking, and he's drifting, and I got it, and that's a knock on him in college. But you got to give him something to work with, because in his position as you could say the 5th string quarterback, I don't know, maybe he's the 6th string. I don't know what he is. And then then it comes down to a couple of minutes are left, and there's one last hurrah. They get the ball back, and Shedeur tries to go on the field, and Stefanski puts Tyler Huntley in place of him. And it completely humiliated Shedeur, who's turned to Stefanski like, you don't...
Honey?
Wait, what?
With COVID-19 and my heart disease, I'm not going to wait. If it's
completely humiliated Shedeur, who's turned to Stefanski like, you don't... What? It's just excruciating to watch what they're trying to do to Shedeur. Again, they're still trying to teach him a lesson. They sabotaged it. They rigged it against him today, putting him in with 3rd and 4th stringers, 5th stringers, where you got no shot at quarterback. Your best play is you might as well just hand it off and see if you can get 3 or 4 yards. Shedeur's not going to dump pass it today because he knows this is it. This is going to be his last shot, probably for the whole year as far as the Browns go. How's he going to get another shot? Flacco's going to start, and you know why Stefanski's starting him. He's 40 years old, but he's been there and done that. And Stefanski's just barely trying to hang on to his job, so he don't want to go with any kid quarterback. Pickett, I don't know, he's been hurt. I don't know but a lot of people thought he was going to start. And then they picked Dylan Gabriel, 50 slots ahead of Shedeur. What do you think they think of him? They love him. They're going to give him every shot to prove them right as a third-round pick. Deshaun's still there. It was a disaster. $230 million guaranteed dollars by Jimmy Haslam, and I'm still convinced Haslam was the only reason they took Shedeur. He just wanted a little publicity splash, just something to take people's minds off the disaster that has been the Cleveland Browns. I do like their draft class because I love Shedeur. I love the linebacker from UCLA, and I love the sort of hybrid Shannon Sharp style tight end, that Fannin kid from Bowling Green. They got some nice young players. They'll be pretty good, but on Super Bowl odds, they're dead last. So I was trying to make the case, just Jimmy Haslam, just tell Stefanski, tell your GM, tell your whole staff, we're going to start Shedeur Sanders. Why not against Joe Burrow and company on opening day in Cleveland? He'd give you at least, the team loves him. Did you see, after one terrible series, he got sacked on 3rd and long. It wound up, I don't know what it was, 3rd and 35. He goes to the sideline, went and sat down on the bench, hung his head for a second. David Njoku, who made a nice play first half, I guess from Flacco, goes over and they cut away. But Njoku was going straight to Shedeur to say, keep your head up, man. It's okay. It's going to be okay. You'll find your place. You'll find your way in this league. Njoku loves him. Njoku was carrying on conversations with him in the first preseason game. That team would have lit up for Shedeur. He's a natural-born leader. He's just got that thing. He's got that it. The swagger is legit. It's not fake. It's not poser swagger. It's real. He's very good. He's just very good. He's very gifted. I mean, he was raised around superstars. That's the beauty of Shedeur Sanders. He's got it in his blood. He's got it in his genes. It's just shameful to watch. So how does this end? Well, I don't see how they're going to carry 4 quarterbacks. I don't see it. So I assume they're going to try to practice squad Shedeur. I assume that, unless I hope they cut it. Here's my point. Shedeur has.
Yeah, man. That's what I said. Cut him. You don't want to be over there being held hostage on no 3rd string quarterback, which you still might start. Because I just don't see Joe Flacco playing the whole season. Dylan Gabriel is fragile. But, I mean, you got Kenny Pickett, you got Deshaun Watson who can get healthy at any time. Like, it's too many people over there. Release that man to the wild and let somebody else get him now because they feel like probably they didn't humble him. He's not a first-round talent. They can get him now at a cheap price, and he's always disposable. Is a win-win for the team. Like I say, man, the Saints, Atlanta, Miami. There's a lot of teams that if I was in their office, I'd go get Shedeur. Right now, I'd be trying to make plans to get Shedeur either off the waivers, either off their practice squad, or I'd be trying to make a trade. Because I know Shedeur is good. If I know it, and I mean, I've been evaluating quarterback for 20 years, but I've been doing it from my couch. I ain't never was in no NFL office and I lose it be right. But he got all the mechanics. He's a great player. He's a great quarterback, and he's definitely a starter in this league. I would take him. I know this just wishful thinking, but I would go as far as saying that he's better than Caleb Williams, the number 1 pick of last year's draft. I think he might even be better than Cam Ward, but that's just my opinion. Let's continue.
To go elsewhere. The only way out of this, trust me on this, the only way free of this situation, free Shedeur from Cleveland, free him, is for either them to cut him or them to practice squad him and some other team, somebody out there says, you know what? They look at the tape of the first preseason game and they say, look, we suck at quarterback. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know. You never know how teams are looking at their situation saying, God, I don't know. I could throw out names, but I'm just guessing. But there's always, it only takes one. There's always somebody out there who says, you know what? I think Shedeur can play. I think he's going to be something, and we need something to hang on to for the future. And they go sign him off the practice squad. They're going to have to put him on there. You can only sign off the practice squad if you put him on your 53. It's going to have to happen like that. But let's see what happens Tuesday, Wednesday. If somebody jumps on Shedeur off Cleveland's practice squad, that would be the saving grace. That would be where somebody actually wanted him. This was just a publicity stunt by Jimmy Haslam, who forced a coaching staff and a front office staff who did not want Shedeur Sanders to try to do something with Shedeur Sanders. And then he showed them all up in the first preseason game when because of fateful injuries to everybody else, he got to play. And he lit it up and lit them up. He shamed the whole NFL. And it's on tape. You can go watch it. And maybe there's somebody somewhere who says, you know, maybe we should take a shot. Maybe he gets a shot. He's going to have to go somewhere where they actually opt to go get Shedeur because they want Shedeur on their 53-man roster. And then, heaven help him, it's just going to have to be fate, gift from above, that he gets his shot. Because I'm telling you, if he gets his shot in a real game against a real team with first team versus first team, he will light it up. That's just who he is and how he's made. Today was a nightmare of a disaster because he got thrown in with fourth and fifth stringers trying to make a play. It went from bad to worse. It was hard to watch. 3 of 6 for 14 yards and 5 sacks. I got it. And then he got benched, so to speak. He got yanked for Tyler Huntley with 2 minutes to go in the final preseason game. Just disgraceful. That's what it was. Just abjectly disgraceful on the part of Kevin Stefanski, who used to shame Baker Mayfield. Remember that? I used to despise Stefanski for what he would do to Baker. He made Baker's life impossible, and look at Baker now. That's what I'm trying to say. There's no reason that Shedeur can't become Baker Mayfield elsewhere. He's just going to have to get a break and get a shot and get an opening and get a fate-blessed opportunity that he hasn't yet had. Get him the hell out of Cleveland. Get him out from under that wicked Kevin Stefanski.
You are the person with the gun, the person who would do anything to protect the ones you love. But did you know that you could go to...
And that's pretty much all on that, man. But I just had to put this out there, man. It's just disheartening, man, how they treat Shedeur, man. It's unrighteous, man. But you know, this the lead that everybody want to get to, man, and it's the level that we all want to. Well, not we, cause not myself, but if you're an athlete, this is your ultimate level in life to get to this level. And I mean, you know, you got to play by their rules, and the people who they put at the head of their team, such as the head coaches. But what they doing to Shedeur is just a humiliation ritual, and it's just unrighteous. And like I say, this is not a woke tape. This is not about race, because we've seen the same thing happen with Johnny Manziel. And next year, Arch Manning probably gonna be first overall because it's humbleness. It's just how it is in this league. They want you humble and they want you to, you know, but they don't want you to feel as though like college, like they is in college. Now they have no control over college no more because NIL is just ruined the game of college football. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, do I feel as though the players should get paid? Absolutely. But it gave the players power, and Shedeur has too much power. He still got a lot of power. Look how this dude is easily the most popular player in Cleveland, and he's not even a first round, second round, third round, or fourth round pick. You know what I'm saying? This dude is box office, man. This dude he's just polarized, and it's hurting him. But like I say, this was a humiliation ritual that he's going through. It's not working, so they doubling down, and who knows what's next. But I thank y'all for listening to me. I'm out of here.